Magandang araw po mga kapatid. Halina't saksihan natin ang nakakatakot na pangyayari sa Israel. Sinimulan na ng Israel ang pagtapos ng mga teroristang Hamas sa Gaza Street. Sa sobrang gulat ng reporter na ito ay napahiyaw sa lakas ng pagsabog sa malapit sa kanila. Tunghayan niyo ang nakakakilabot na pagsabog sa Gaza Street na pinagtatigwan ng mga teroristang kalaban ng mga anak ng Diyos. Tara at panoorin natin.
Just a while ago as well. I'm sorry again. Oh my God, yes, I need to go down.
كملي
I can't. If you can hear me, I can't. Oh my God. We're going to direct the camera now towards the explosions. Can you hear me? Yes, I've directed the camera now towards the explosion. This is a Shruk tower that has been brought down, as you can see. I was standing right opposite to it when I was talking to you. The destruction is massive. This is one of the biggest buildings. The building has not fallen yet. It has not fallen yet, which means that more rockets right now will be fired to.
Talagang hindi nahihintuan ang pagsalakay sa mga teroristang Hamas sa pamamagitan ng pagguho ng mga gusali sa pasabog ng missile attack ng mga Israel's Defense Force. Gusto atang ubusin ng lubusan ng mga malalaking building para siguraduhing walang matitirang teroristang nakatago nito. Saksihan ang pagguho ng isang iglap ang malaking gusaling ito.
Ay, sabog.
Paano yung mga balot, be?
Sa hotel na sila, alas 10 na. Ay, sunod-sunod. Ay,
So ma'am, umpisahan po natin, no? Pwede po ba kayo magpakilala? Ano pong pangalan ninyo, edad, at saan po kayo nagtatrabaho?
Ano tayo? Takbo tayo saglit.
Ay.
Wait, kasi may dalawang sirena ngayon na may dalawang alarm ngayon.
Ma'am, ano po yun?
Wait. Naririnig nyo?
Opo.
Ayun, may sirena. Ibig sabihin may bracket na paparating ngayon.
Ma'am, mag-ingat po kayo, ma'am. Sige po, kung kailangan niyo po ibaba ito, okay lang po.
Okay naman. Hindi siya totally dito sa amin. Pero kung maririnig mo siya, yun yung parang ambulansya na tunog. Pero
Sirena.
malayo siya kasi kung dito talaga siya sa amin, directly dito sa pwesto namin ngayon, as in malakas na malakas mo siyang maririnig. So medyo siya, kumbaga nakalapit sa amin. May application kasi kami na okay, safe pa tayo ngayon.
Destroying Hamas in East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and Gaza. The IDF has detained thousands of Hamas fighters during dawn operations. In spite of this, the IDF conducted spectacular ground assault operations and airstrikes in settlements such as Native Hazara, Erez Beit Hanun, Nir Ayam, Siderios, Kafar Aza, and Berry. Hamas also persisted in firing rockets at Israeli cities from Gaza. Along the Gaza shore, the Israeli Navy has persisted in destroying Hamas targets. Most recently, as the Israeli army carried out ground operations in Gaza, the IDF declared that scores of Hamas fighters who had blocked structures and tunnels had been slain during the course of the night. According to an IDF statement, one incident included an Israeli aircraft being piloted by Israeli ground forces that targeted a military position inside a Hamas structure housing more than 20 fighters. The village of Al Azhar, which EDF forces recognized as the location of armed militants and a launch pad for anti-tank missiles, was also targeted by a guided fighter jet during the course of the night. The IDF claimed to have hit around 600 targets in the last 3 days, including weapons depots, many anti-tank missile launch sites, and Hamas staging and hiding places. According to IDF officials, Israeli forces have expanded their ground operations inside Gaza, moving more than 2 miles, roughly 3 kilometers, into the territory. The IDF's intelligence teams planned surprise raids to bolster the growth of the Israeli army's ground offensive operations. The primary focus of the Shin Bet and Mossad intelligence operatives' raids in the West Bank and East Jerusalem was Hamas fighters attempting to regroup. Israeli forces have launched multiple operations against Hamas in the West Bank throughout the last 24 hours. The IDF reported fights and the arrest of hundreds of Hamas members during these raids. The initial IDF raid operations proved to be effective. The Israel Defense Forces said today that during raids conducted overnight in the West Bank, soldiers apprehended 46 Hamas members. The West Bank branch of Hamas projected that the IDF's operations would end after this crucial operation, but the Israeli army increased the frequency of the raids and conducted another operation. According to the IDF, this second operation delivered Hamas a serious setback. Data that surfaced following the procedure further supported the IDF's claims. The Israel Defense Forces declared that during their second nighttime assault in the West Bank, the soldiers had taken 58 Hamas fighters into custody. Additionally, there was a violent altercation in Jenin on the same day between combatants from Hamas and the Israeli Defense Forces. It was revealed that fighting overnight in Isa Muhammad al-Amir's Jenin refugee camp claimed the lives of 110 Hamas fighters. After these conflicts, the IDF declared that Major General Yehuda Fox, the commander of Central Command, had approved an order to destroy Hamas official Sail al-Arudi's home in the village of Aruda, which is close to Ramallah. Israel has therefore struck Hamas quite hard following all of these operations and conflicts. 660 Hamas members, comprising the organization's leadership and operational staff in the West Bank, have been detained since the Gaza Strip's conflict began on October 7, 10:30, according to an IDF report. If raids were executed with extreme suddenness and organization, Hamas members had no time to defend themselves or escape. In the face of the IDF's strength, almost 1,000 Hamas members were left with no alternative but to give up helplessly. These drastic measures allowed the IDF to seriously impair Hamas's activities in the West Bank. There are a lot of Hamas sympathizers and supporters on the West Bank. As a result, the IDF must battle Hamas in both Gaza and the West Bank. It is commonly known that there are a large number of Hamas supporters in East Jerusalem, and that these supporters also engage in activities within this settlement. Indeed, Shin Bet raids in East Jerusalem over the past 24 hours are said to have resulted in the arrest of hundreds of Hamas supporters. Considering all of this, the settlements that IDF soldiers need to focus on the most are Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem. However, Iran has remained on edge since the IDF totally surrounded Hamas and removed the majority of the organization's leadership. Since the start of the conflict, Iran has been wearing down Israel through its proxies. It is purported that Iran backs Hamas while another Iranian operative in southern Lebanon is Hezbollah. But in northern Israel, the IDF is not allowing Hezbollah any leeway. As a result, Iran has started threatening Israel again, which is intolerable. Ebrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, most recently declared that Israel has breached boundaries in Gaza and that this may require action from everyone. Iranian officials had previously expressed concern about the possibility of a larger clash before President Raisi made her remarks. Hossein Amir Abdullahian, the Iranian foreign minister, also issued a warning, stating that many additional fronts are likely to open if Israel does not cease its airstrikes, and that the bombing of Gaza could have far-reaching effects. In addition, Abdullahian proposed that the US had sent Iran 2 messages about the rising tensions in the area. Minister Abdullahian claimed that the United States had sent 2 different messages, the first of which stated that it was not interested in extending the war, and the second of which urged Iran to use prudence and insisted that it should urge other nations and other parties to do the same. However, the Iranian foreign minister did not disclose the method or timing of the message delivery during a press conference that took place in Tehran. In fact, the battle is getting worse because of Iran's determination to carry on with its attrition campaign against Israel in spite of all of the US's warnings. War analysts surmise that although Iran is reluctant to become involved in an Israeli-Hamas conflict, it might not be fully in control if it acts on its own, as is the case with the Lebanese paramilitary group Hezbollah, which it backs in the area because of Hamas' severe blows and deaths. However, as Iranian proxy forces threaten American soldiers stationed in the Middle East, US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan stated that the US sees a high possibility of hostilities extending throughout the area. The attacks that have already taken place support these claims. As you may remember, last week the US launched airstrikes, hitting 2 installations connected to Iranian-backed militias in eastern Syria, in response to a string of drone and rocket attacks on US soldiers. According to US estimates, no one was hurt during the airstrikes against locations connected to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps and its allies. It was said that the US was intimidating Iran with these strikes. US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan stated that American forces will retaliate against Iran if it persists in using proxies to launch assaults in Syria and Iraq, and Tehran needs to take note of this warning. The message was actually very clear. Iran was receiving a strong warning from the US not to intensify the Middle East conflict. However, Iran is unlikely to give up on its plans to target us and Israeli bases in Iraq, Syria, Israel, and Lebanon through proxies in the latter stages of the conflict. Tehran wants to destabilize the United States' moderate Middle East policy and damage Israel while the battle rages. As a result, in the days to come, we can see this theatre becoming considerably more brutal and pervasive. We appreciate you viewing us. To provide you with the quickest and most trustworthy news, we work day and night.